Hello, my name is Jemael Nzihou. I will be presenting the data science and quality engineering process capability analysis. The goal is to transform quality engineering through advanced data science techniques. So the role of data science in quality engineering, basically it's summarized into, data-driven insight which enables deep visibility into process performance and product quality metrics, advanced techniques which combines machine learning, statistics, and real-time analytics for comprehensive analysis in business optimization that supports optimization, forecasting, and risk reduction in manufacturing environments. And that leads to continuous improvement, which enable the betterment decision making through iterative process refinements. So understanding the process capability indices. Why do we need that? Well, it's basically to gauge how well our performance is being gauged or measured. So with the CP, which is like the process capability index, it measures the variability in relation to specification limits, ignores the process centering, and focuses solely on the spread of data points. The CPK, on the other hand, which is like the corrected capability index, accounts for the process mean shift, which evaluates both spread and centering. So, and it's more comprehensive assessment of the capability of the process. So it basically tells you how capable, the process is. Is it feasible to like produce quality product? If yes, then it will tell you. So how do we know? So like let's say if the CP is greater than 1.33, that means the process is capable and within limits. And if the CPK is less than CP, it indicates that we have an off centering, possible still within tolerance. So here we have a visualization techniques uh, of like the upper center limits, the center limits, and then the lower center limits. So I use basically like a coding to accelerate basically the process, and then that's what the image is all about here. And what is the goal of the visualization techniques? Well, is to transform basically complex data into intuitive like representation, which reveals like hidden patterns and enables automatic detection of anomalies within like the manufacturing data sets. And also it helps basically bridge the communication gap between the technical and business teams and allows all stakeholders to grasp the concept of process capability without really having like too much of like the details on the statistical knowledge on the subject, and also converting the abstract data into visual insights for basically making decisions and enhance the quality of the procedure. And then here we have like the process capability analysis, where we have like the targets, and then as you can see we have a normal distribution, which means that our data set was actually normal, which is a good indication. And also we have like the lower specific limits and then the upper specific limits. So basically the distribution analysis, it decodes basically the complex variation patterns and detect like the process shift through comprehensive shift assessments, as you can see the statistical evaluation. And the specification compliance, quality processes performance goes against specification limits with precision, which identify both chronic and intermediate non-compliant risk, which leads to actionable insights. What does that mean? It converts basically the indicator into prioritizing improvement opportunities with clear implementation of the pathways and expected impact. So, and also it shows like the performance trends, which monitors the capability metrics of how our process is done. And also we use programming to kind of like just accelerate the process here and makes things easier. So here on the visualization techniques, we had the control chart as well as the process distribution. So we, on the control chart aspect, we track, our metrics over time and show the process mean and display the upper control limits, UCL, as well as, the lower control limits, as I mentioned earlier. On the process distribution, we use the histogram, which indicated the normality of our data sets and showing like the frequency, and also the normal curve overlay, specification limits, and I noted like Cp and Cpk. How the data was actually interpreted. So we use the trend analysis, pattern recognition, outlier identification, and a process shift. In our case, our pattern was within limit, which indicates that we were good. The process was actually good to go and capable. Uh, well, why do we care about this? We care about this, because we're looking at the business impact. Well, we want to like optimize the process, right, to see how stable the Cp and Cpk indicators are to ensure the consistency in the quality of the outcome, and also for looking at the production efficiency. So if like our quality of the data, the quality of data is actually optimized, which will lead to reduce of defect, rework, as well as downtime, which will improve the throughput basically. And then we can, even go further by predictive maintenance. The earlier we know the trend detection, the better we can take care of like the equipments, the risk presented, which lead also to the risk management, which will prevent basically like the non-conformant and avoid basically financial damage. So that's why it's really like it's important here. So again, data is the driving factor and then for everything, right? So why? Because it enables like the strategic advantage on the long-term competitive edge through integration. It enables also the quality methodology, which aligns with the Lean Six Sigma approach, and also the smart manufacturing, because if like we don't have enough data or quality data, it's not gonna like we're not gonna reach digital information or quality product basically. So this basically concludes our presentation, and you can connect to Zaba Tissue on YouTube. And thank you very much for the time for presenting, for your participation and attention for presenting here. And I appreciate the time of engagement and on process capability analysis. And if you have any question, please feel free to reach out. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.